I've only done this method a few times, so I'm certainly not the expert, but I have learned a few things. So I'm going to show you what I'm using. It's just a small utility knife. I do have some linked in my Amazon storefront in my bio. And the key here is to getting a sharp one. So these have little snap off tips that you can take off, and that way, you know, every time you're doing it, you're starting with a fresh blade tip. So here's what we're working with. This is an egg I cut out of insulation foam board. And the key is you're kind of just going in. I'm just going to do like a little squiggly design. This design right here is my favorite, honestly. This one's so satisfying. So I'm just making a little squiggly design, and I'm kind of going in at an angle. So you're making a valley essentially. So now that I've got one side down, I'm going to angle my utility knife the opposite way. And it's kind of like you're making a V inside of the foam board, if that makes sense. So now you're wedging it, making a little bit of a line, curving next to the curve that you already made. Just go slow, take your time. You definitely don't want to cut yourself, but again, a sharp blade is key to getting smooth cuts, and you're not wanting to cut too deep into the board and getting too much of a valley going on, but then you also don't want anything too narrow. So this just takes practice, and that's what I'm doing. That's the only way to learn. So I suggest starting off simple with something like this. These Easter eggs are a perfect example. So here's my first little line and how that looked. And then I'm doing some other simple ones. I'm just making a straight line across on this one. So same method here. You're going in with one angle and then you're coming back the other direction and going the other angle to kind of make, again, this valley right here. Now the hardest one is definitely this zigzag pattern, because you're just making a lot of different small lines. There's not really a good way to make these turns and curves. That's a little tricky. Again, I'm not the expert, but that's what I've noticed when trying this out. So I really like the squiggly lines or the straight lines. This is the best way, again, just to practice and try it out and see which method works for you, and maybe a different tool that works for you. Then I went into paint. That is a challenge in itself, just getting those paints inside the valleys there. So be sure to just take a little bit of extra time. But this is how it turned out. I love how colorful and fun this is. I've added a lot of different patterns. I used paint and paint markers on this, but I think it came out super cute.